Your Honor, before we begin closing statements, is it okay if my timekeeper relocates to the witness stand? Aisha Ishmael for the plaintiff. May it please the court. Your Honor, opposing counsel, members of the jury. Hayden Duran saw the signs and failed to act. Today you heard a tragic story about two 11-year-old children who were playing with a gun. Unfortunately, one of those children, Sydney Park, she lost her life. This case may be a little different than what you may expect because we are not here to talk about the children and the decisions that they made. We're here to talk about the parents, Andy Park and Hayden Duran. As a plaintiff, we are here charging Hayden Duran with negligent parental supervision. What that means is Hayden Duran did not do enough to prevent the accident on August 18, 2010. In order to prove that to you today, the plaintiff must prove four things. One, that Hayden Duran did not properly warn Jesse about the dangers of guns. Two, that Hayden Duran failed to warn Andy Park about Jesse's previous aggressive behavior. Three, that on August 18, 2010, Jesse Duran acted in a way that posed an unreasonable risk of bodily harm to Sydney Park. And four, that those acts or omissions were the direct and proximate cause for Sydney Park's death. We had to prove this evidence to you by a preponderance of the evidence, which is more likely than not, or 50% in a feather's weight. Let's talk about those elements. One, that Hayden Duran failed to warn Jesse Duran about the dangers of guns. Now, what we heard in today's trial is that on numerous occasions, Hayden Duran saw Jesse's behavior involving guns and failed to act. We heard today that Jesse Duran drew a picture of Jesse Duran pointing guns at other children. We've heard today that Jesse expressed an interest in the Parks gun on August 17, 2010. What did Hayden Duran do? Hayden Duran took that picture that Jesse hung on the refrigerator and hung it on the refrigerator. Jesse Duran told you that I thought it was a joke. My mother understood that it was a joke. But members of the jury, today we are here because Sydney Park is dead. And pointing guns at other children is not a joke. What Andy Park is feeling is real. Her daughter will never come back, and that is not a joke. Now you have the confession written by Jesse Duran on August 18, 2010, and it says that my mom taught me that real guns are like the ones in video games. Jesse Duran walked into the Parks home on August 18, 2010, where a gun was, and thought that that gun was like the ones in video games. We've proven our first element. Now let's talk about that second element. Now we know that Hayden Duran did not tell Andy Park about her son's interest in her gun, did not tell Andy Park about Jesse's previous violent behavior. You have an email of concerns from Hayden Duran that she never expressed to Andy Park. Andy Park did not know that Jesse was a danger to Sydney. Andy Park told you that had I known, I would have changed the location of my gun. Had I known, I would not have allowed Jesse in my home playing with my daughter. Now the plaintiff have come before you assuming an affirmative defense. They're trying to say that Hayden Duran was not the cause of this accident and that Andy Park was. They came before you trying to say that Andy Park did not do enough storing her gun and that's why this accident occurred. But what did we hear about Andy Park today? Andy Park did the research. She bought the most reputable safe and the most reputable gun that she could find. She stored it the best way that she knew how. She didn't know that her daughter knew where that combination was, and had she known, she would have taken different action. What Andy Park knew was not enough to foresee this accident occurring. But Hayden Duran, she could foresee this accident occurring. Based on Jesse's actions, Jesse's behavior, and her own concerns with Jesse, she knew that an accident could happen. Let's talk about what Andy Park saw versus what Hayden Durant saw. What I just put before you, it was what both parents knew at the beginning of August 18, 2010. They both knew the children would be left unsupervised. They both knew there was a gun in the Parks' home, and they both knew that the children knew about it. Now, this is the picture that Andy Park had. But let's talk about what Hayden Durant had. You have an email. Hayden Durant knew that her child was playing dangerous video games. In that email it says, Jessie only wants to play games that involve shooting hundreds of people. Andy Park told you she didn't know that. Concerned email. Hayden Durant knew about her concerns, and you have that email in evidence, and you'll have it when you go back to deliberate. The concerns in that email, Andy Park told you on this stand that she had no idea about. The picture, me and my gun, that Hayden Durant and Jessie Durant thought was a joke, Andy Park on this stand did not take it lightly. She didn't know about that either. We know that Hayden Durant failed to warn the Parks about her concerns. We know that they failed to warn the Parks about Jessie's fights in school. And we know, because of the text messages that Hayden Durant sent Jessie Durant on August 18, 2010 at 8:57 in the morning, she said, "I don't want anyone to get hurt." Based on the conversation she had with her child the day before, she thought someone could get hurt, but she did not walk in that house and talk to Andy Park about it. This accident was foreseeable to Hayden Durant. What Andy Park saw was not enough to take action, but Hayden Durant could have. Hayden Durant saw the signs and failed to act. Find her life. Thank you. Would you like me to make this time?
Let me see it really fast. No, you can leave it out.